Feng Xingshang's stern countenance remained devoid of emotion. He then grinned icily and remarked, "Mere parlor tricks. Even if the 5 of you attack simultaneously, it would amount to nothing." "How arrogant. Let's see if your arrogance persists," retorted Ren Hua with a cold snort. He forcefully stomped on the mountain peak and, with a powerful stride, unsheathed a black ruler. From a distance, the 9 mountain peaks appeared deceptively close, but in reality, they were separated by at least a kilometer. Bang! 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 Echoed as Ren Hua traversed the peaks, leveraging their support to accelerate, causing them to crumble in his wake. The vast battleground suited the combatants of the battle realms, matching their aggressive style. Despite the detailed description, Ren Hua's movements were swift, and in just a few flashes, he stood before Feng Xingshang. The heavy black ruler carried a potent force and a berserk aura as it descended toward Feng Xingshang. The collision tore the air, creating visible ripples, yet Feng Xingshang, with a slight turn and a partially drawn saber, effortlessly blocked the attack. Ren Hua chuckled, saying nonchalantly, "Your hand must be numb by now. Consider that just the appetizer." Feng Xingshang retorted coldly, "You overestimate yourself. I haven't even deemed you worthy yet. Your ruler is rather feeble." A bright saber light, akin to flickering stars, emerged as Feng Xingshang fully drew his saber. Sharp intent and quintessence blended to form jet black saber chi. Ren Hua, surprised by the ease with which Feng Xingshang drew his saber, retreated as the friction of his body against the air produced a dull sound. Feng Xingshang's lips subtly curled as he gracefully moved his saber-wielding right hand, executing a rhythmic swing. A jet black saber chi surged forward, forming an expanding black arc as Ren Hua retreated. The black saber arc, maintaining a constant distance of 5 centimeters from Ren Hua's face, created an oddly beautiful spectacle. The relentless wind from the saber chi tousled Ren Hua's hair, and the imminent danger pressed upon him. The lethal black saber chi trailed closely, leaving Ren Hua no opportunity to defend with his heavy black ruler. His life hung by a thread, relying on the hope that the saber chi would weaken before his quintessence depleted. Feng Xingshang, sporting a disdainful smile, swiftly sheathed his saber. The arc-shaped saber chi transformed into a fleeting black ring before vanishing. He taunted, "Ren Hua, you chose the wrong stepping stone for fame. To defeat me, you'll need to challenge the top 3 geniuses of the 10 great battle realms. You're not qualified yet." With a gentle smile, Feng Xingshang departed swiftly, leaving onlookers puzzled. The abrupt conclusion bewildered many, and only a few noticed the comical matching wounds on Ren Hua's face. In a single move, Feng Xingshang, the top bladesman of the southern provinces, ranked second only to the proud son of heaven giants, defeated the 9th battle realm genius. The swift outcome disappointed those expecting an epic battle, as Ren Hua never even unleashed the battle realm's renowned giant's bloodline. Perplexed murmurs echoed. What just happened? Is the battle over? Disappointment lingered among those anticipating a fierce clash. Feng Xingshang's foresight about Ren Hua's choice of a stepping stone for fame proved accurate. The top bladesman of the younger generation truly lives up to his title. In a few years, he might challenge the 7 giants and gain even more renown, remarked some amidst the unexpected turn of events. Lately, newcomers from the 10 great battle realms have been thriving, challenging and defeating local cultivators. Feng Xingshang upheld the honor of our 18 southern provinces by humbling Ren Hua. The humiliation of Ren Hua by Feng Xingshang will surely invoke the wrath of Hao Lang, the strongest genius of the first battle realm. A vengeance is inevitable. The battle unfolded swiftly and concluded abruptly, leaving many in delayed reactions. Gradually, discussions gained momentum within the animated crowd. Amidst it all, Xiao Chen maintained a calm demeanor, his contemplative gaze setting him apart in the lively scene. Feng Xingshang's earlier attack provided Xiao Chen with profound inspiration. While others might not grasp its intricacies, as a skilled bladesman himself, Xiao Chen comprehended the nuances of the seemingly simple assault. The noteworthy aspect was the flawless 60% comprehended saber intent. A 60% comprehension marked great perfection, and Feng Xingsheng seamlessly integrated it with the saber qi, preventing any leakage. This ensured the continuous expansion of the arc-shaped saber qi, maintaining its energy, saber qi, and aura even as it formed a circle. Xiao Chen also noted Feng Xingsheng's mastery over the state of wind, sensing the threshold of the will of wind. This mastery sealed off Ren Hua's potential counterattack. The terrifying force unleashed when Feng Xingsheng withdrew the move left Xiao Chen in awe. Reflecting on the two faint marks on Ren Hua's face after such a powerful attack, Xiao Chen marveled at the level of control displayed. In the realm of crouching tigers and hidden dragons, Xiao Chen acknowledged the formidable talent within the Kunlun realm. Contemplating a potential confrontation with Ren Hua, he estimated a challenging battle with a 60% chance of victory and a requirement of at least 500 moves. The prospect of facing individuals stronger than Feng Xingsheng, such as the Seven Giants and the top 3 Holy Son and Holy Daughters, loomed ahead. Xiao Chen embraced the anticipated challenges, drawing inspiration from Feng Xingsheng's impactful attack. Xiao Chen geared up to swiftly return for self-training, having tapped into 60% comprehension of saber intent but struggling with precise control. The battle he witnessed wasn't in vain, it broadened his horizons and aided his understanding of saber intent. Quietly departing the lively scene, he flew alone toward Skymound City, his unassuming white figure drawing no attention. Amidst the diverse Tianwu domain, local heroes and lower realm experts showcased their brilliance, leaving a lasting mark on history. Xiao Chen, currently an observer, could only watch fights at Feng Xingsheng's level. The commotion held no relevance to Xiao Chen. He silently observed, his surging blood indicating his determination. Despite burying his pride, he knew the dragon within him would eventually soar through the heavens. Utilizing an ancient transportation formation rooted in the epic of immortal cultivation, Xiao Chen reached the supreme sky sect in one swift journey. Upon his return, he promptly visited the mission hall to submit his completed task, earning a reward of 50,000 superior-grade spirit stones. Despite being a millionaire in a sense, he valued these additional stones, aware that his wealth of over 1 million wouldn't last long. Simultaneously, Zhou Yushi and his comrades celebrated the secure completion of their escort mission, dividing the 100,000 superior-grade spirit stone reward, each gaining around 10,000. Their joy was evident. Pleased with the lack of danger in the escort mission, one of them remarked, "With the Supreme Sky Sect's reputation, it's the safest choice for us." Another chimed in, "Absolutely. 10,000 superior-grade spirit stones and the chance to explore, it was a worthwhile journey." Zhou Yushi and his friends engaged in cheerful conversation, recounting their enjoyable experiences of good food, fun, and scenic views. Suddenly, Zhou Yushi remembered something and approached the counter. Politely, he inquired, "Senior, I have a question. My companion, Xiao Chen, took on a mission to eliminate loose cultivators. Has he returned yet?" The black-clad administrator, displaying a hint of displeasure, responded, "Not yet. He accepted the mission to deal with the 7 black wind killers. It's been over half a month, he might not be returning." Zhou Yushi's expression shifted upon hearing this news, realizing the time elapsed. Despite their shallow friendship, he harbored gratitude toward Xiao Chen for his earlier assistance in purchasing the quintessence gathering pill. Recognizing Xiao Chen's character, he acknowledged him as a friend worth having. When Zhou Yushi's friend heard the news, he couldn't help but chuckle, "Haha. I warned him not to be too confident, but he ignored it. Look at what happened, he lost his life. He got what he deserved. Didn't even bother to assess his strength. When we advised him, he was arrogantly dismissive. I've heard about the 7 black wind killers. Some well-funded inner sect disciples tried to take them down but ended up dead. Since Xiao Chen hasn't returned, he probably faced a similar fate. Let's move on. Forget about this and go collect our monthly stipend. With that and the mission rewards, we can buy some pills for cultivation." Zhou Yushi shook his head, choosing not to say more. Regardless of his affection for Xiao Chen was gone. The focus was on living their own lives. Just as Zhou Yushi pondered this, he spotted a familiar figure at the mission hall entrance. Dressed in white with a blue strip around his head, Xiao Chen moved calmly through the crowd to the mission counter. Seeing Xiao Chen, Zhou Yushi and the others were stunned. They exchanged glances, noting disbelief in each other's eyes. I bet he abandoned the mission and returned. Probably. Even a few well-funded inner sect disciples would struggle with this mission together. How could he have done it alone? I think you're right. Earlier, they speculated on Xiao Chen's death, but seeing him alive, their first assumption was that he had given up on the mission. Xiao Chen handed the mission papers to the black-clad administrator, then calmly displayed the 7 heads. He nonchalantly stated, "These are the heads of the 7 Black Wind Killers, along with the handprint of the clan head of Dingshui City's Feng clan. Apologies for troubling Senior to verify them." Zhou Yushi and others were visibly shocked when they heard Xiao Chen's words. Gasping, they exclaimed, "How is that possible? He actually killed the 7 Black Wind Killers?" The notorious reputation of the 7 Black Wind Killers was well known among Supreme Sky Sect inner sect disciples, making Xiao Chen's accomplishment seemingly implausible. The mission hall's occupants turned doubtful gazes toward Xiao Chen. The cautious black-clad administrator immediately called someone to inspect the heads. Surprisingly, the verification confirmed Xiao Chen's claims. The administrator, taken aback, handed over 50,000 superior-grade spirit stones, stating, "The mission proof and the handprint are authentic. Here's your reward." Several onlookers were astonished, struggling to believe that a newly arrived disciple from the lower realm had taken down the notorious killers. Zhou Yushi and his group, conflicted and silenced, refrained from further comments. Despite receiving the reward, the contribution points were yet to be accounted for. The black-clad administrator added, "Since you accepted the mission last month but submitted it this month, the contribution points will be credited for this month." Xiao Chen acknowledged this arrangement, having understood the contribution point system during his previous visit. The administrator explained, "For eliminating the 7 Black Wind Killers, you gain 1,000 contribution points. Check the contribution ranking. Your name should be listed." While surprised by Xiao Chen's achievement, the administrator, maintaining professionalism, refrained from delving into too many inquiries and executed the necessary procedures. After expressing gratitude to the administrator, Xiao Chen headed to the contribution ranking, displayed on a crystal wall divided into 100 boxes. The top spot belonged to inner sect disciple Yun Feiyu, boasting 9,000 contribution points and the mysterious allure of an independent operator, often favored for the next true inheritor position. The leaders of the original 5 factions occupied ranks 2 to 6, showcasing their power and tendency to band together for resource raids. The 7th and 8th ranks were held by veteran disciples, while the 9th and 10th were recently acclaimed figures, Sidu Gang and Gui Wu, each hailing from different realms, leveraging their resources to rise quickly. Xiao Chen found his name at the 20th rank and contemplated the possibility of entering the top 10 next month for extra remuneration. Despite Gui Wu holding the 10th spot with only 5,000 points, Xiao Chen prioritized refining his physical body and grasping the 60% comprehension saber intent this month. As he prepared to leave the mission hall for his monthly stipend, Zhou Yushi struggled to convey his thoughts. Finally, he mustered, "Brother Xiao, congratulations." Xiao Chen, though not turning around, acknowledged with a soft, "Many thanks." Standing not at the peak but certainly not mediocre, he understood that those at the pinnacle often faced loneliness and appreciated a smoother life. Yet, he reminded others not to criticize different choices based on their own preferences. You might be content with average results, but criticizing others for their aspirations is not justified. Aligning with this group will hinder our ongoing interactions and impede the development of a genuine friendship. Xiao Chen shook his head, rejecting this train of thought. Inner sect disciples in the mission hall observed in disbelief as he exited composedly. After Xiao Chen received his stipend of 10,000 superior-grade spirit stones and 10 spirit-gathering pearls, he contemplated altering his surroundings. The residential area was cramped and bustling, unsuitable for contemplation. Xiao Chen organized his lodging, departed, and encountered a group of individuals. "You've done well, brat, completing the mission to eliminate the 7 Black Wind Killers," remarked the leader, a dark-clad swordsman. Their group, fueled by quintessence gathering pills, blocked Xiao Chen's path with imposing auras. Gui Wu was absent, and the swordsman, a late-stage inferior-grade martial monarch, exuded a menacing demeanor, evidently here to intimidate. Xiao Chen, aware of their intentions, smiled and said, "Perfect timing. If you hadn't sought me out, I would have sought you." The black-clad swordsmen, confident in their superiority, scoffed, "You're not qualified to challenge young Master Gui just because you killed the 7 Black Wind Killers. Gui has advanced to medial-grade martial monarch and will rank high this month." Another member added, "Hand over your spirit-gathering pearls. It's pointless for someone at the Sky Dome realm like you to use them." With numerical advantage and Xiao Chen being an early-stage inferior-grade martial monarch, the group dismissed any concerns. Their threatening tone drew the attention of onlookers, who had been aggrieved by Gui Wu's previous actions. Despite witnessing Xiao Chen's resistance, they doubted its success, given Gui Wu's higher rank and solitary status. Even if Xiao Chen could defeat this group of individuals, he would still be unable to deal with Gui Wu's retaliation. The black-clad swordsman pointed at Xiao Chen and sternly shouted, "Surrender your spirit-gathering pearls. Otherwise, leaving this place won't be an option." This collective had been searching for a target to set an example, aiming to establish their dominance. They hoped Xiao Chen would instigate trouble, providing them with a reason to assault him. "Ha ha ha. Let's see how you're going to take them," Xiao Chen laughed, his form swiftly moving as he delivered a punch at the black-clad swordsman. The swordsman coldly smiled, placing his right hand on the hilt of his sword. "Good, Xiu." The moment the swordsman uttered, Xiao Chen suddenly accelerated, leaving afterimages with his rapid movements. Xiao Chen's unusual speed and enlarging fist bewildered the black-clad swordsman. Before the swordsman could fully draw his sword, Xiao Chen's punch landed on his chest. Boom! The potent quintessence on Xiao Chen's fist exploded, causing the air and ground to tremble. The force breached the swordsman's protective quintessence, resulting in him spewing a mouthful of blood and being knocked back. The swordsman's sword dropped, and with a horrified expression, he coughed up another mouthful of blood, uttering laboriously, "Attack together. Beat him to a pulp." Overcoming their initial shock, the group swiftly regained composure and rushed forward, enveloping Xiao Chen in an attempt to overwhelm him. A faint smile graced Xiao Chen's lips as he deftly flipped his palm, summoning the lunar shadow saber into his grasp. Without unsheathing the saber, he channeled his extensive and untainted quintessence along with his 60% comprehended saber intent into the scabbard. It was an opportune moment for Xiao Chen, allowing him to experiment with the precisely comprehended 60% saber intent derived from Feng Xingsheng's saber technique. Xiao Chen remained composed and unruffled despite the relentless attacks from the group of inferior-grade martial monarchs. He moved at a leisurely pace, effortlessly shattering their blows as he swung his scabbard. When he identified openings, Xiao Chen utilized the scabbard to deliver powerful thunder-infused strikes. The resulting explosions of saber intent and quintessence sent various figures flying, leaving them incapacitated upon landing. Xiao Chen didn't hold back, breaking at least a few bones of those he struck, necessitating a recovery period of no less than a month. Onlookers were astonished at the outcome, realizing the destructive potential even without Xiao Chen drawing his saber. Had he unsheathed it, the fallen individuals would likely be dead. Despite being only an early-stage inferior-grade martial monarch, Xiao Chen's dominance in the battle was evident. With his robust quintessence, the confrontation didn't last long, establishing his suppressive advantage. In the skirmish, Xiao Chen effortlessly broke the martial techniques of his opponents, confounding many observers. The resounding thud of the scabbard striking the ground echoed loudly, rendering the black-clad swordsman and his group unable to stand. The lingering saber intent in the air hummed like a treasured saber, though Xiao Chen, upon hearing it, frowned slightly. He acknowledged his lack of absolute control over his 60% comprehended saber intent, yet recognized its improvement. Viciously sprawled on the ground, the black-clad swordsman warned Xiao Chen to await young Master Gui's return. Xiao Chen responded with a gentle smile, calmly stating that if Gui Wu didn't come to him, he would seek him out. Addressing the defeated group, Xiao Chen instructed them to leave, concluding the confrontation with a decisive command to scram now. Amidst the perplexed gazes of the bystanders, Xiao Chen lifted his leg and delivered a forceful kick to the black-clad swordsman. The impact was so potent that it propelled the swordsman away at a speed challenging for onlookers to follow. A heart brimming with anger disrupted inner harmony. A man of true grit harbored no grudge he wouldn't avenge. Gui Wu's audacity in seizing Xiao Chen's spirit-gathering pearls demanded retribution. Regardless of the distance, Xiao Chen vowed to extract payment from him. The black-clad swordsman's threats held no sway. Dealing with Gui Wu was inevitable. In the eastern city, designated individual courtyards catered exclusively to inner sect disciples. These courtyards featured serene cultivation rooms, well-stocked practice grounds, and elegant surroundings, simplicity combined with cleanliness. The rank 1 spirit vein within the cultivation room served only the courtyard's occupant, offering an environment over 10 times superior to the initial residential area. However, this luxury came at an unimaginably high price, a monthly rent of 200,000 superior-grade spirit stones. Despite the financial strain, Xiao Chen, valuing the solitude and access to a spirit vein, chose to rent the courtyard. Having a spirit vein to himself justified the cost, and he required a sizable, tranquil space for comprehending his saber intent. In a single transaction, Xiao Chen expended 400,000 superior-grade spirit stones, covering 2 months' rent. A manservant guided him to the assigned courtyard situated beside a beautiful lake, its vast and shimmering waters flanked by swaying lush trees. Similar opulent courtyards adorned the lakefront every few hundred meters, exclusive to inner sect disciples with deep pockets. Only those who had cultivated for several years, even decades, could afford this steep rental cost, beyond the means of most. Senior brother Xiao Chen, this is your new dwelling. Maids and servants are already present in the courtyard. If you wish for solitude, feel free to instruct them to leave, the respectful manservant conveyed, gesturing towards the gates. Surveying the surrounding environment, Xiao Chen expressed contentment and instructed, "You may leave now. Bring the others with you. Just ensure they send food over once a week." Once alone, Xiao Chen positioned himself beneath a towering tree in the garden, reminiscing about the confrontation between Feng Xingsheng and Ren Hua. Closing his eyes, he immersed himself in contemplating the newfound inspiration. The lush, tall trees, reaching over 100 meters, shed leaves that danced and swirled in the air around Xiao Chen. His white robes fluttered in the wind, lunar shadow saber held in his left hand. Eyes closed, he resembled one in a deep slumber. For 4 days, Xiao Chen remained motionless beneath the big tree. Yellow leaves adorned his head and shoulders, ignored as he stood like a silent statue in the courtyard. Unaware of his surroundings, he seemed frozen in time. Suddenly, as if breaking from a trance, Xiao Chen moved. Grasping the saber with his right hand, he casually drew it without a specific target or purpose. The saber chi burst into the air, slicing through leaves with surgical precision. The wind carried away the leaves as the saber chi vanished, leaving no trace. The wind subsided, and the leaves settled. Xiao Chen opened his eyes, finding everything unchanged. Save for the scattered leaves on the ground, no evidence remained of the powerful strand of saber chi infused with 60% comprehended saber intent and 50% of his quintessence. It had appeared and vanished silently, leaving no discernible aura. With a single breath, Xiao Chen sheathed his saber, cleanly concluding the sequence. A faint smile graced his face as he remarked, "I finally executed an attack with a flawless 60% comprehended saber intent. However, it took 4 days of preparation. In actual battle, my opponent won't grant me even a second for such readiness." After further contemplation, Xiao Chen retrieved a small jade bottle from the universe ring and poured out a medicinal pill. This spiritual heart pill, akin to the quintessence gathering pill, could temporarily enhance a cultivator's comprehension without side effects, a valuable acquisition from the Rising Sky Pavilion disciple, Lu Feihu. Having swallowed the spiritual heart pill, Xiao Chen experienced a clearing of his mind and an expansion of thought processes. This temporary boost, lasting 10 minutes, allowed him to gain diverse insights into the perfect 60% comprehended saber intent. Leveraging his already high comprehension ability, Xiao Chen maximized the pill's effectiveness. Over the next 3 days, he consumed the remaining 3 spiritual heart pills. With each use, he refined his saber intent, seamlessly integrating it with his saber qi in 3 flawless attacks. Subsequently, Xiao Chen engaged in practicing the 4-season saber technique within the courtyard. Surprisingly, having mastered perfect control over the 60% comprehended saber intent, he attained new insights into each of the technique's moves. The might of the first clap of spring thunder, burning to desolation, fated person in autumn waters, and grieving frost increased significantly, providing Xiao Chen with a pleasant surprise. Upon completing the practice of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, he proceeded to execute the final move of the 4-season saber technique, cycle of seasons, in a continuous manner. In that moment, scenes representing all seasons materialized in the courtyard: April's peach blossoms, July's meteors, October's autumn wind, and January's snow. These elements coalesced and intertwined as Xiao Chen swung his saber. Supported by the perfect 60% comprehended saber intent, the power of the cycle of seasons transformed into a vibrant, multicolored light. Following a resounding explosion, a staggering pillar of water emerged in the lake, 100 meters wide and several kilometers tall. Its majesty captivated onlookers. Xiao Chen smiled faintly as he sheathed his saber, instantly dissipating the force behind the water pillar, causing it to cascade back down. Witnessing the aftermath, nearby wealthy disciples emerged from their courtyards, perplexed by the earlier force that had now vanished. Expressing suspicion, they returned to their residences, unaware of Xiao Chen's extraordinary display. Reflecting to himself, Xiao Chen marveled at the formidable might of the perfect 60% comprehended saber intent. He acknowledged its extraordinary power and understood how Feng Xingsheng had defeated Ren Hua with a single move. Confident in his current strength, Xiao Chen contemplated a potential confrontation with Ren Hua, surmising a 70% chance of victory if the Battle Realm genius hadn't made significant improvements. As he pondered, a sudden call disrupted his thoughts: "Xiao Chen! Get out here!" 18 connected pillars of water burst out from the now serene lake. Xiao Chen gazed into the distance, spotting Gui Wu, who had just completed his mission and hurried back. A formidable group trailed behind Gui Wu, emanating intimidating auras and a palpable killing intent. Simultaneously, inner sect disciples from Xiao Chen's previous residential area sprinted over along the opposite shore. Xiao Chen deduced that Gui Wu deliberately spread the word to gather a crowd. He likely aimed to defeat Xiao Chen publicly, reinstating his dominance, securing the trust of his faction, and showcasing their collective power. A week prior, Xiao Chen had incapacitated Gui Wu's subordinates sent to collect spirit-gathering pearls. If Gui Wu failed to avenge them, establishing himself as a significant force in the inner sect would prove challenging. In such a scenario, he would struggle to garner followers and wield influence. With a faint smile, Xiao Chen propelled himself off the ground, soaring into the air and heading toward the center of the lake. "You finally came. I've been waiting for quite some time." The lake water undulated for an extended period, its surface rising and falling. The reflection of the blue sky and white clouds distorted, creating an illusion of deep undercurrents. Eventually, Xiao Chen landed steadily on the water surface, calmly facing Gui Wu on the opposite shore. Gui Wu had indeed broken through the bottleneck of an inferior grade martial monarch, ascending to a medial grade martial monarch. While his progress as a newcomer inner sect disciple was commendable, it held no surprises for Xiao Chen. Gui Wu's cultivation realm was not the primary focus of Xiao Chen's attention. Targeting him would be a futile endeavor. Generally composed, Xiao Chen rarely lost his temper. However, when angered, he aimed to decisively defeat his opponent, settling matters conclusively. Gui Wu's cold and expressionless demeanor betrayed murderous intent as he stared at Xiao Chen. "I knew you wouldn't submit willingly, but I didn't expect you to cause such a commotion." Xiao Chen, undeterred by Gui Wu's advancements, retorted casually, "Submit? That word doesn't exist in my dictionary. You're making assumptions." Gui Wu, attempting to subdue Xiao Chen with his aura, shouted coldly, "Xiao Chen, let me ask you one more time. Are you really going against me? If you apologize for that day and hand over the spirit-gathering pearls, I can spare you today." Releasing a formidable aura, Gui Wu sought to overpower Xiao Chen. Undaunted, Xiao Chen allowed the seemingly solid aura to surge over him. The oppressive atmosphere was akin to mountains, causing the lake water to surge endlessly. Inner sect disciples who had caught wind of Gui Wu's leaked information observed the unfolding spectacle. They were intrigued by the audacity of Xiao Chen, an unheard-of disciple from the Sky Dome realm, challenging the emerging giant of the inner sect, Gui Wu. Amidst the crowd, the leaders of the original 5 big factions of the inner sect watched covertly. Yu Zhijiang, the strongest among them, initiated the conversation. "Who do you think will win?" Lan Feiken, who had previously clashed with Gui Wu, responded, "There's little to speculate. Xiao Chen will likely lose. Gui Wu practices an unusual defensive technique. It took me 1,000 moves and exhausting his quintessence to defeat him. Moreover, he was only an inferior grade martial monarch then. Now, as a medial grade martial monarch, he'll be even stronger." Calmly, Feng Wuong added, "In our eyes, Gui Wu may be nothing, but it shouldn't be challenging for him to defeat Xiao Chen." Bai Zihao and Meng Hongguang echoed similar sentiments, anticipating Xiao Chen's inevitable defeat. Yu Zhijiang, wearing a gentle smile, questioned, "If that's the case, why bother watching this seemingly pointless battle?" The 4 leaders exchanged embarrassed smiles. Bai Zihao explained, "We share a common intention. The selection for the next true inheritor is approaching. Xiao Chen, having dispatched the 7 Black Wind Killers, possesses noteworthy capabilities. Testing Gui Wu's strength in this duel will provide valuable insights into his growth." Feng Wuong sighed, acknowledging the unexpected prowess of these lower realm individuals. He mentioned Situ Gang's formidable strength and expressed concern about Gui Wu, recognizing the latter as a significant threat. As the conversation unfolded, Gui Wu's patience waned. Despite exerting his aura on Xiao Chen, the latter remained unfazed. Standing like a mountain amid the undulating waves, Xiao Chen displayed a remarkable calmness. Gui Wu, growing increasingly impatient, drew his sword, releasing a casual sword chi that leapt over to Xiao Chen. The latter effortlessly dodged, prompting Gui Wu to advance with a ferocious sword attack. Xiao Chen, reacting swiftly, drew his lunar shadow saber, effortlessly deflecting Gui Wu's attack. Suddenly, a water pillar erupted behind him as Gui Wu's earlier sword chi exploded in the depths of the lake, creating a whirlpool. Taking advantage of the distraction, Gui Wu laughed triumphantly as he executed a complex sword technique. Hundreds of sword images converged into a resplendent glow filled with intense sword intent. Observing Gui Wu's tactics, Meng Hongguang commented, "Impressive. This battle is likely reaching its conclusion soon." Gui Wu's ability to create opportunities for himself showcased strategic prowess. Xiao Chen, recognizing the gravity of the situation, focused on Gui Wu's formidable skills. The latter, taking advantage of Xiao Chen's momentary vulnerability, prepared for a decisive attack. As Gui Wu's sword approached Xiao Chen's chest, the latter, unable to evade, infused his 60% comprehended saber intent into his lunar shadow saber, creating a dense saber chi. In an unexpected turn of events, Xiao Chen's counterattack knocked Gui Wu back, causing his feet to skid on the lake surface. What is going on? Astonishment gripped everyone as they struggled to comprehend the turn of events. Gui Wu, who had held a clear advantage moments ago, was forced back by Xiao Chen's counterattack. Even Lan Feiken, who had engaged with Gui Wu previously, found it impossible to believe. This is impossible. Given Gui Wu's defensive technique and Xiao Chen's low cultivation, Gui Wu should be able to defend against the quintessence of this attack. Without dwelling on the shock, Xiao Chen quickly regrouped and propelled himself forward, riding an azure dragon image towards Gui Wu. The latter, still reeling from the unexpected turn of events, attempted to defend against Xiao Chen's perfect 60% comprehended saber intent infused into his saber. The first move of the four-season saber technique, the spring saber chop, thunderously struck Gui Wu. In defiance of expectations, Gui Wu's defensive technique failed to dissipate the force of the attack, leaving him in a state of disbelief. Taking advantage of Gui Wu's vulnerability, Xiao Chen continued his assault with the four-seasoned saber technique, relentlessly pushing him back. Despite being an inferior-grade martial monarch, Xiao Chen defied expectations by dominating the battle. Executing each move with precision, Xiao Chen seamlessly flowed through the four-seasoned saber technique, ultimately unleashing the fated person in autumn waters, a move that sent Gui Wu plunging into the lake like a cannonball. As Xiao Chen rode an azure dragon image, his expression remained stoic. The inner sect disciples at the lakeshore were rendered speechless by the unexpected outcome. In just 4 moves, Xiao Chen had triumphed over Gui Wu, defying all expectations. Yet, Xiao Chen's actions did not cease. He invoked the cycle of seasons, endless growth, directing his gaze towards a specific area of the lake. Mysterious phenomena of spring, summer, autumn, and winter manifested in a cycle, accompanied by a 7-colored saber light. Perplexed by Xiao Chen's continued actions, the onlookers questioned whether the battle was truly over. Before they could articulate their doubts, an enormous whirlpool materialized on the lake, unleashing a colossal pillar of water that shot several kilometers into the sky. The ear-shattering boom resonated like the end of the world, leaving the spectators startled. As they looked up, they witnessed Gui Wu, in tattered clothes, falling limply from the apex of the water pillar. The impact upon landing produced a thunderous explosion, and Gui Wu lay motionless on the shore, covered in wounds, his body visibly weakened. Amidst the aftermath, a sharp sound pierced the air. The azure dragon image beneath Xiao Chen let out a resonant roar as it maneuvered with precision, swiftly reaching Gui Wu. The surrounding disciples instinctively recoiled, their gazes now infused with an undercurrent of fear. While Xiao Chen had already defeated Gui Wu earlier, forcing him into a sorry state at the bottom of the lake, he showed no mercy, compelling Gui Wu to resurface. This revealed that beneath Xiao Chen's seemingly composed exterior lay a ruthless demeanor. Gui Wu, still recovering on the ground, looked up with trepidation as fear gripped his heart. He frantically retreated on his hands, casting anxious glances at Xiao Chen. With indifference in his tone, Xiao Chen spoke, "Do you think I need to submit to the current you?" Today's victory showcased Xiao Chen's dominance over Gui Wu, leaving him battered and incapable of recovering for at least half a year. The psychological impact on Gui Wu was equally profound, and Xiao Chen's decisive and ruthless approach left no room for his opponent's resurgence. Observing Gui Wu's pitiful state, Xiao Chen wore a cold smile as he dismissed him. Turning away, he gracefully propelled himself off the ground, soaring back to his courtyard. Unexpectedly, on the opposite side of the lake, Yu Zhijiang, the leader of the strongest among the 5 major factions, exclaimed, "That is a perfect 60% comprehended saber intent." The expressions of the other 4 leaders changed as they sensed a formidable threat. Lan Feiken remarked, "Only Feng Xingsheng has achieved a perfect 60% comprehended saber intent in our 18 southern provinces. Could this fellow be on par with Feng Xingsheng? It's undoubtedly a perfect 60% comprehended saber intent." Xiao Chen broke Gui Wu's defensive technique by fully merging quintessence with saber intent, sighed Feng Wuang. Meng Hongguang also expressed surprise. "I expected to witness Gui Wu's strength, but now we have another formidable opponent in Xiao Chen." Yu Zhijiang, however, maintained a composed smile. "Don't be discouraged, everyone. Feng Xingsheng earned his title as the top bladesman without relying solely on his perfect 60% comprehended saber intent. Xiao Chen is not comparable to him. We still have a chance." Bai Zihao, intrigued, inquired, "Senior brother Yu, do you mean?" A sly smile appeared on Yu Zhijiang's face as he replied, "While this fellow shows potential, his cultivation is still far below ours. Until he poses a genuine threat, we have plenty of opportunities." Lan Feiken added, "Indeed, we cannot afford another contender like Yun Feiyu. If Xiao Chen tries to snatch our resources, we won't become true inheritors in this lifetime. Senior brother Yu, your guidance is paramount. We'll follow your lead," agreed the others, aligning themselves with Yu Zhijiang's strategy. With a cold smile, Yu Zhijiang stated, "This requires careful planning. For now, there's a willing fool to test Xiao Chen's strength." Suddenly, Situ Gang, among a group of Battle Realm disciples, approached. With a booming laugh, he aimed a punch at Xiao Chen, challenging, "White-robed bladesman, we haven't determined a victor yet. Are you planning to leave already?" A dragon's roar echoed as Xiao Chen, sensing the attack, swiftly turned around. The azure dragon image beneath him responded instinctively. Facing Situ Gang's powerful punch, Xiao Chen cautiously opened the 12 acupoints on his right arm and retaliated. A colossal explosion shook the lake, sending 81 pillars of water into the sky. Both combatants were forced back 100 steps, and as they pushed against the water, additional pillars rose, creating a spectacular scene. Undeterred, Situ Gang grinned, "This is great. Take another punch." Amidst the shifting winds and clouds, an ancient giant image appeared in the sky, roaring and impacting the surroundings. Situ Gang harnessed his overwhelming momentum, forcefully stomping on the lake and propelling himself upward with arms outstretched, resembling a colossal rock. Subsequently, he aimed another punch at Xiao Chen. Upon recognizing Situ Gang's activation of the ancient giant bloodline, a renowned and revered attribute in the Battle Realm community, Xiao Chen swiftly circulated the quintessence he had refined twice. It flowed through his body like myriad surging rivers, awakening the hidden aura within him. A dragon's roar resonated in his chest, resisting the attempt to suppress his aura by his approaching opponent. Prior to Situ Gang's arrival, Xiao Chen harmonized his vital qi and quintessence, unleashing the berserk dragon fist. The clash resounded with powerful roars, splitting the lake and generating colossal waves reaching a height of 200 meters that surged toward the shore. The immense force of the waves prompted inner sect disciples who had come to witness the spectacle to curse and hastily fly to a safer distance. The subsequent exchange forced Xiao Chen to retreat 300 meters, with blood seeping from the corner of his lips. Having earlier depleted a significant amount of quintessence practicing the four-season saber technique and facing Gui Wu, he now possessed only a quarter of his original quintessence. Recognizing the inferiority of his merged vital qi and quintessence against Situ Gang, who had activated the ancient giant's bloodline, Xiao Chen found himself at a disadvantage. Amused by this development, Situ Gang prepared for another attack before the lake's gap closed. However, a sudden turn of events occurred when azure flames ignited the clouds above Situ Gang. An azure dragon claw formed into a fist descended from the sky, catching him off guard. Despite Situ Gang's attempt to retaliate, the descending dragon fist took advantage of gravity, knocking him to the lake bottom. The converging lake waters exerted a force exceeding 5 tons, causing concern even among his Battle Realm companions. As Situ Gang emerged, bloodied and frustrated, he leapt from the lake, revealing a muscular and powerful physique through his tattered shirt. Frustration and flustered emotions overwhelmed Situ Gang as he got up and soared into the air. Unfazed, Xiao Chen, relying on his spiritual sense, had anticipated Situ Gang's trajectory after emerging from the water. Calmly pointing his right fist skyward, he declared, "Claw burning the heavens." Initiating a combustion of his vital qi, azure smoke billowed from his Tianmen acupoint. Swaths of white clouds ignited as an azure claw descended from the sky, carrying the might of the 9 heavens and forcefully knocking Situ Gang back into the water. The draconic fury and the intense flames engulfing the sky formed an indomitable force, rendering mortal defenses futile. The onlookers, astonished, witnessed this extraordinary display. Yu Zhijiang, with a somber expression, remarked, "I initially expected his defeat against Situ Gang, given his near exhaustion of quintessence. Yet, his physical prowess is unexpectedly robust, capable of generating 500 tons of force solely through vital qi." Firmly clenching his teeth, Feng Wuong asserted, "We cannot afford to let this individual persist. Otherwise, our aspirations of becoming true inheritors are in jeopardy. He poses a more significant threat than both Situ Gang and Gui Wu." On the opposite shore, a man adorned in purple robes stood atop one of the tall trees, seamlessly blending his aura with the foliage. Despite his conspicuous position, he appeared almost like a part of the tree, easily overlooked, a branch among branches. Not bad. Besides his remarkably robust physique, his proficiency in saber techniques is rather commendable, mused Chen Xiao, one of the two true inheritors who had received Xiao Chen and his companions. A subtle smile graced Chen Xiao's lips as he continued, however, that's the extent of it. His quintessence is nearing depletion. Those two impressive fist techniques of his operate by consuming his vital qi. He's on the brink of exhaustion. I might have to step in to assist him. His potential is promising, worth forming a connection. With his words hanging in the air, Chen Xiao gracefully glided to the center of the lake, akin to a drifting leaf in the wind. At the lake's depths, Situ Gang harbored a sense of frustration. This time, he had learned from his mistake. Holding his breath, he harnessed the momentum of the ancient giant, poised to deplete half his quintessence and obliterate Xiao Chen with a powerful punch. The lake trembled, as if a colossal creature roared within. Waves surged, and an overwhelming force brewed underwater, palpable to all spectators. White-robed bladesman, your demise is imminent. A towering pillar of water erupted, propelling Situ Gang into the air. He unleashed a ferocious roar, his entire body engulfed in golden flames, throwing a mighty punch toward Xiao Chen. Yet, before Situ Gang could complete his strike, a swift purple figure materialized, delivering a precise kick to his chest. The kick expertly exploited Situ Gang's sole vulnerable point. The quintessence imbued in the kick surpassed all expectations, dwarfing that of a peak medial-grade martial monarch, resembling an expansive sea of power. Situ Gang found himself defenseless against the onslaught, vomiting copious amounts of blood. The flame surrounding him extinguished, and he tumbled back into the water in a more pitiable state. One of the 9 true inheritors, Chen Xiao. Surprisingly, he's present here too. The expressions of Yu Zhijiang and his comrades shifted, replaced by suspicion. They couldn't fathom why Chen Xiao, given his esteemed position, appeared in this particular setting. Ignoring his injuries, Situ Gang leapt out of the water again, voicing his frustration, "Damn it. Who dares to kick me? Do you have a death wish?" Chen Xiao, upon hearing this, offered a faint smile and moved with incredible speed, delivering another forceful kick. Situ Gang, still recovering, was propelled back into the lake. The Battle Realm individuals, witnessing their peer, Situ Gang, repeatedly submerged by kicks without retaliation, felt a deep sense of humiliation. While they seethed with anger, the presence of Chen Xiao stifled any impulse to defy the established rules. They might be infuriated, but they dared not voice or act on their resentment. Rumble. Rumble. Situ Gang, now more composed, recognized the arrival of an exceptional figure. Submerging himself, he cautiously surveyed his surroundings, revealing only half of his head.